Hey, how are you doing? Me, I'm just sitting here feeling the breeze, listening to the birds, just soaking it in. I spent so many years just goal oriented. I needed to go, I needed to do, I didn't have time, I was in a rush, I was worried, I was stressed, I was at the verge of nervous breakdown. And that's American dream, isn't it? American, where'd that come from? Huh? American. Oh no. Channeling Elvis, bless your heart. But there's definitely been changes. They say, oh, at 50, men go through a midlife crisis. Well, I guess some would see what I've done as a midlife crisis, a nervous breakdown, or whatever. But I didn't break down. I'm rebuilding. I'm free. And it's been a pretty interesting 5 years, I guess. All of us are on a spiritual path, to journey to God. I've always felt God and experienced God. I guess what they would say is divinely, to where I would have just said I experienced Him. People would, say things, and it'd be like a sudden knowing would happen. Would come over me, and they're like, "Well, how do you know?" It's like, I don't. I don't know how I know. It's a feeling, I guess. But the last 5 years have really been interesting because I've felt a pull to to I guess a lot of you would say get right with God, and I have. I'm getting right with Him every moment. Closer and closer we get. Funny thing is He's right here. He's as close as you want Him to be. Although He's there anyway. God is everywhere. It's beautiful. But the last 5 years, I've been on a really, I guess, a spiritual teacher that I follow that has helped me, I guess, open a door or flip a switch or just accept and learn how to be truly honest with yourself. That's key. Because, you can lie to everybody. You can lie to your doctor, you can lie to your spouse, your kids, your friends. You can even lie to yourself. But it is only a lie, and you got to get honest with yourself. And that's what this journey's all about, is just being honest. Get honest. Why do you fear that? Why do you struggle? Key word is choose to struggle. And once I decided, I chose not to want to struggle and have that nervous breakdown and whatnot. It's definitely changed everything. And the scariest thing that I was so afraid of was to turn my will over to God. God's will is my will. My will is God's will. It took me 50 years to say that. And when I did, and I was totally honest, and totally believing in myself, and knowing this is truth. The doors flew open. And it's been miraculous. And I learned, can't be afraid to step forward. Always lead out with that right leg, no matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. Because the right represents the future. The right side of you, the future. God. The left side has to do with the past. You're all of that, everything of past, I don't know, I feel like your sins, all that baggage and boulders and stuff tend to sit on the left, and illness and whatnot is how I kind of categorize it. It's how it's being shown to me. The right side is, the right hand of God, it's right there. It's so funny. So funny. Beautiful and simple. Everything has been amazing eye-openers. Just the simplest things. And, well, it's led me to where I'm at. I live in my 4Runner. That is my home. And I am boondogging. Look at this beautiful area here. I'm trying to get my phone to spin around. And it's even peaceful, just quiet. And over there, that's where some of my other stuff is. When it gets really super hot, I go over there and hang out. But, I tend to stay under these trees. It's a beautiful shade area. But 5 years, who would have thought I would be considered a nomad? Or I like the term, vehicle resident. Isn't that funny? I think the IRS decided to give us that name. I don't know. But, it's been a trip. Everything. Everything that I am is right here. I either gave it away, burn it, or gave it to Goodwill. And it was funny. When I was going through it, it was funny because it took me like maybe 20 minutes to go through all my clothes, to get all my clothes into a sea bag. I'm a veteran. A Navy. Hoorah! Um, but then it was like, I thought, well, furniture, this, that, and the other, pictures. And I gave all my kids' pictures and things like that to my ex-husband because, well, that's a kid's pictures, and I'm not gonna burn photos of that. Give them, photos and do with them whatever it is. Store them in the closet until I don't know. But yeah, and the funny thing is everything changed. April. April, I was working in a factory 6 days a week, crippling my fingers and my body and hating life, making $20 an hour though. That was a goal of mine. It's like, I wonder what it feels like to make $20 an hour. Wonder what. And so, $20 an hour is just, yeah, 60 hours a week, and yeah, it was nice. It was there, but at what expense? I hardly see my kid. My boyfriend at the time was seeing my kid more than I was. And it just seemed like the more I made, the more bills there were. And there's a saying they say, be careful, what you ask for, and how you say it. I need money to pay my bills. I need, and then it's like, oh yeah, you get more money, but you also get more bills. And then you realize it's like, well, duh, I asked for this, no wonder. And so, I guess, I unplugged from that. Me and my my boyfriend were about to part ways, and there I was, looking for, a place and rent and everything. And with that $20 an hour, I'd already paid up, 2 months of rent and propane tank totally full for the next year, and insurance paid up until November. And, this was back in February, how much was stowed, and then I left there, left him there, the boyfriend, because he was fostering a lot of cats. He was fostering two of my cats. And so, I don't know. I'm not, some people are, but it felt right. He was a great guy, is a great guy. We never had much to squabble about. I got a little, I guess for him, a little mental toward the end. Because I guess I was like Joan of Arc or something, listening to voices, or I don't know what he was thinking. But bless him, he was a great guy. And so I just felt paying it forward, And with the rent thing, I stayed till May, the second week of May. It was close to Mother's Day, I think. And so it was just more or less 2 weeks that, he had to himself. Because when I, quit my job and stuff, it was like, okay, well, I got $300 to build my home. I had some land, that was gifted to me, but it's unreachable. And it would have took a fortune to reach it. And so I thought about it, and it was like, well, what's a house? What's all this represent? And I'd been watching van lifers and stuff on YouTube and stuff, and I almost, kind of envied, those guys. They look so happy. Those panoramic views of such awesome sights, and they're smiling, they're relaxed, they're living life, And I was like, wow, look at that. And during the time, I was going through this, I was with God, I was really close to God and working stuff out, lots of forgiveness work and all that, and it was come to me as innocent children. And that was like, kept coming to me through my own thoughts or just things, and out and about, and that just reflected that come to me as innocent children. And I was like, God, what is that? What do you mean? And becoming spiritual and whatnot, I've learned that there's so much. They say, oh, read between the lines. Well, there's more lines than you know. More lines. And when you tap into it, and you start seeing it, and just the sudden ahas, and oh, so wonderful. So no, I have no regrets of getting rid of any of my stuff. Just working on the being parts. It's what, July 20th something or another, 24th, 25th, something like that. 2022. And so May, June, July, about a month and a half, month or more maybe, I've been living in my car. There's a couple times, like when I went to visit my mom in Florida, I stayed in her house. It was very early wake ups there to sleep in my car. But the mosquitoes, I don't know, I put some stuff over my windows and to keep the bugs out and whatnot, but it just seemed like the nights were kind of hot. And my mom had AC, and it was easy. I was visiting. I don't know. I slept in a recliner for a week. Well, actually, yeah, a week. I'd made a trip before that, and it was 10 days I slept in a recliner. I was bringing my son, so he had a room, and I was going to sleep in my car, but I didn't. So that was the only time that I hadn't slept in my car. It was the 10 days that I was with my mom, and then the 5 days I'd come back with my son. And it's amazing. It's like I thought about, oh, what am I forgetting? What am I going to miss? What is it going to be? I wasn't much for, baths, so a tub or something like that wasn't a woo or a woe, and showers are fine. And it's like, who knew it would be coffee? Yep, that's pretty important. That and a fan. Being in your vehicle, especially if it's raining and all the windows are up, yeah, you better be getting you a fan. I have basted in my own juices a couple times before I got my first fan. And I realized real quick that little fan was not enough. It was great, but little lights and stuff, it don't tell you a lot of information. And it only blows on you for 2 days before it dies as a USB. It's pretty cool though. Well, I'm thinking about getting a bigger one. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing is I don't know if you'd call it rat rotting or whatever, monster garaging or whatever. But what I'd really like to do is put AC unit on top of my 4Runner. Because I have a sunroof. Look at there. And it goes all the way back to where it's wide open. And I'm thinking, there's a lot of those pop-up campers out there that's got the little air conditioning unit on top. It's like, why can't I Jimmy rig something? And that way I'll have inside air. Wish list. There's quite a few things that are on a wish list. And it's been a trip. I have no regrets. I haven't had winter yet. So, hopefully, I already talked to my mom. If it gets, well, I'm in Kentucky, so, it does get below zero a couple times and snows a couple times. It used to snow a lot more, but I don't know what just I don't want to say global warming because I don't know. I think that's a natural thing for the world, just because we weren't here a billion years ago to record it. Well, we we don't see it. We don't understand it. There has been the meltings, and it's anyway. That's I don't know. I don't even want to get into that. But it's funny being 50. It's like you think about your elders and remember those stories because you say them too, or phrases, I guess. Back in the day, yeah, well, they didn't do that back when I was a kid. Yep, a lot of ass whippings. We don't do those anymore. The kids are like, "What is that? Is that a new game?" But yeah, it's amazing. 50 has been an experience. Yeah, looking, yeah, I'm 49, so if my 49-year-old self was able to let's see into the future. So 50, I'm going to be what? I would have been like shocked. It was kind of shocking to get rid of your stuff. Or my stuff, not yours. But yeah, I can talk more about that. I'm sure I will. Well, it's my first video, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it now and see how it plays out, and probably delete most of it. Or not, I don't know. Might not even use this one, I don't know. But this is video number 1 of my journey. My now. Bless you all.